Welcome back to the Blue Chip Breakdown, Vols fans. It is day 9 of spring camp, and we got to hear from the secondary today, along with the secondary coach, Willie Martinez. And pretty much everyone was talking about how much competition there is in that room. Coach kind of spoke on how he's not necessarily pointing out any starters, and he lets everybody kind of rotate in, and there's no set starting group, which that's definitely coach talk. I'm sure that he's got his favorites of who he wants to start. And, I'd be curious to see who he's picking, because I feel like we've got so many really good players in our secondary. It's going to be interesting to see who he decides to throw out there in the starting lineup. And I think that with the secondary, we're probably going to be going 2, maybe 3 deep, and we'll be able to rotate. We've got a lot of guys, and that was kind of like the gift and the curse last year with the secondary, all the injuries that we had. A lot of guys got a lot of playing time. So, even with the underclassmen, I would say that they are almost like vets, because they've just been kind of thrown out there into that fire. And a lot of people have gotten opportunities. And, Coach also spoke on how he's keeping the freshmen, kind of keeping them where they are, and he's not giving them too much, not moving them from spot to spot. But some of the players spoke on, I think it might have been Gabe Judy-Lally. He kind of talked about how, guys are getting cross-trained. The older guys anyway, they're very versatile, and, they can go from corner to nickel to star to, safety. And I think that that's great. Obviously, it's going to help our players from a mental perspective. It's going to help them on the field as well. So that's one of the biggest areas of this team that we're definitely going to be keeping a very close eye on and seeing how they're doing throughout camp. Also thought that our guys carried themselves very well in the press conferences, and that's been a consistent thing with this team. Shouts out to the staff for sure for going out and getting the right type of guys. Seems like we've got a lot of good character guys, and that's something that's going to pay off for them dividends once they get into the real world, whether it is in the corporate world or if they are, moving on to play a little football. It's always good. We've heard about Hendon Hooker, how he's moving up people's draft boards just because of the way that he's carrying himself. He's interviewing very well. And, I think that that's going to be a very, very common theme for all of our players. So super proud of the staff and, all of the, everybody else that's part of this team. There's so many people that go into this, from the academics and, just everybody that's part of this team, man. They're doing a great job with these young men, and really, really looking forward to seeing how they're going to look in live action. I can't wait for the season. I don't know about y'all, but I just can't wait. Also, just to kind of shift gears and shift to the other side of the football, we are continuing to hear that Nico is looking really good, looking really crisp. You can see it here. They said that he's kind of settling in more. You can tell he's coming into his own now. It's just, what is this, week 3, maybe week 4, something like that. I'm starting to lose count. But, we still have a very long way to go. But these coaches throw so much at you because they are going to pinpoint and kind of like pick at the smallest little things. So sometimes you can get into, or sometimes these younger players can get into a situation where some overthinking comes into play. And we are about at that time. It's usually by the end of spring ball that you'll start to see players really start to get comfortable. And you just want to hope, you're hoping that they will continue to work all the way through to carry them over to summer camp. But so that's good to hear. Heard that Joe looked really good. I also heard some things about the wide receivers looking more crisp. We had a few guys out today, but Dante Thornton was back. Squirrel White was limited, but I did see him running some routes out here. So that's good. Really, we don't have any major injuries, knock on wood. And you know what? We're not going to have any. Most of these guys, they're just kind of like nursing themselves back to 100% health. And we're seeing with Cooper Mays, who is the staple of our offensive line. He's really the glue of the whole thing. He's been out pretty much the entire spring. Curious to see if he is going to get some time in that orange and white game. I would anticipate that he probably would. It's almost like in the NFL, you see these veterans a lot of times, they don't really go through, like the training camps, and which I wouldn't even consider this training camp just yet. This is just spring ball. But I think it's kind of a similar thing where, they're just trying to get themselves healthy. They don't really need these reps, and they're going to be just fine. Now, I love this drill here. That drill from the tight ends, with those kind of like shackle bands on their ankles and going through blocking. Here it is again. Love this right here. This is a great drill. I hear several people speaking on being concerned, I guess, with the offensive line from a blocking perspective. I'm not concerned too much with that, even though they are going to have to help out. Here we go with the offensive line. It's so tough to be able to tell anything yet because we haven't really seen them going live yet, right? So we're kind of having to gauge what other people are saying who can see exactly what they're doing, when those live bullets are kind of flying. And, just from watching them going through these walkthroughs, I'm seeing better technique than what we saw early on in camp. It's a very consistent, every single day I see them getting better. And, I'm anxious to see and or hear what's going to happen tomorrow in the scrimmage. I still expect for defense to win tomorrow. It's still very early. The offense really shouldn't be gelled. And then the offense also has so many people out. We would expect for the defense to win. I do want to hear some better things from Joe Milton. Definitely want to hear that the offensive line is looking good. Those are the big things. You just want to know that the offensive line is picking up the people who they're supposed to block and that the quarterbacks are doing what they're supposed to do. Everything else is gonna work around that. So thank y'all as always for tuning into this channel, for tuning into this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share it with some friends. We are also now on Instagram at Blue Chip Breakdown, and very, very fresh and very new, the podcast episodes will be on Spotify, also at Blue Chip Breakdown, and we will be on Apple Music here very shortly. So stay tuned for that, and I will see y'all on the next one. Thanks. Peace.